Well, hello. And thanks for joining in, and also thanks for the follow that I just saw there. The game is booting up in the background. I could, in fact, even hide the overlay, and you guys can watch the intro. Just pause this. The old classic intro, that is. Meanwhile, I don't think they... I'm gonna check. Demon Llama, I don't think they've started yet. Yeah, no, Arabia a day ago. If not, there should be a second set also happening. I was gonna cast the Demon Llama versus Mike set, but I could also cast the other one. We will see. Anyway, enjoy the intro while I hunt around on AoE2.net to find us a match. Eternal struggle, that is. Always. Turn on the volume just a bit. Yeah. Should be good. Should be good. And we'll see too, I did another small update to the map, so there are a few rare generations that can happen now. Weren't there before, like you could get sort of a Socotra style now. We'll see what we get though. Alright, go ongoing matches. Alright, well I think I have the other set. Maybe we'll do that set instead in that case. Clown power. Alright. Yes, this is the upscaled original intro. Which actually looks decently well. I mean, these AI upscaling algorithms can do quite a bit these days. I was pretty impressed when I saw it the first time. Because the original video was like 320 by 240 or something. And we're in Winter Wonderland. Actually, Winter Wonderland in the south. But we already have a match. So we're going to cast the Rafer versus Mr. Danger map because that one's up. And I've got it here. Let's grab it. There we go. You can get the old intro, in fact, as a mod by me. Or I think there's also someone else who has it as well. Of course, you could just use no intro if you want. That's a good way to get into the game faster. Let me just quickly lock my mouse to the window again. Yep. Alright, so we've got Cumans again. Cumans. We've seen them. We saw them yesterday, like every match, it felt like. Alright, let's get some panels showing what we want them to show. Let's remove some fog of war. Oh boy! Alright. Hello, hello. We got ourselves something special here. Alright, well. Yeah. This is the entirety of the available map. It's Black Savannah. We even have a area appropriate tent here where I don't usually watch to make sure they're area appropriate. The other thing you'll notice too is I unlocked the first challenge that gets you the Sun God Inti on your town centers. So I need to do all of those event mods so I can re-upload them for people later. Alright, so Cumans and Franks, we should see cavalry normally, although when it's a map that's this small, players will quickly realize what's going on, and they need to consider, you know, early walls or towers. Let's take a look here. How's the scouting? Yeah, no one's realized just yet, but they'll realize very soon what kind of situation they're in here. Let me also just close Firefox in the background. Yeah. Get some better performance. Alright, so let's see. That's still just waypoint scouting. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Danger, or losing a villager to the elephant. Elephants are dangerous. This is why I just usually squeeze loom in before I lure anything. Don't want to risk that. And it looks like our yellow player has not built a lumber camp, is collecting stragglers and just gonna get the elephant now. Also put the goats nice and far away to avoid having the villagers collect multiple of them. Which is fine, unless the enemy scout comes and steals them. That's quick reaction there. Scout will be... Ah! We'll watch that. At the same time, there's a villager there. No villagers going down here. So ultimately, it looks like we have a 2-villager lead, and only one of those can be explained by the death, so there's also some idle time. And resources-wise, let's just double check to make sure everyone has the same things around their base. We have 5 tile gold, and we have a 4 tile gold. Huh. Both of them have the exact same amount. That is interesting to me. Of course, theoretically possible. And then the far gold, I guess, is this one. We have the near stone. And do we have a far stone? Probably like this. And then over here, the far gold, stone, gold, the other stone. So we have both stones here. Gold, gold. This gold might actually belong to red. There's just very little space for anything to spawn here. Berries have lots of fruit on them. Goats. The goats don't have a lot of meat on them. And I'm pretty sure there was only one elephant as well, so. We will see. Oh, there's some ostrich. But essentially there has to be, with this short of a space, you either need to go for very early walls, which we're seeing. Although in reality, I would like to see those walls a bit more forward. You don't want to give your opponents the option to circle around here. So, is there a lumber camp? Huh. Looks like our yellow player is opting for the no lumber camp build, unless I'm missing something. You do need 2 feudal age buildings to advance to the next stage. Alright, I see the walls going up here too. I mean, there are plenty of straggler trees, and these straggler trees have plenty of wood on them. Oh, at least some of them have plenty of wood on them. Alright, let's fast forward a wee little bit. We see a bit more idle time there. But the villager difference is now equal, despite the death. And both players will be up to Feudal Age in a similar time. Alright, red is going for the double walls. Shit. Wait. Am I... Let me try now. Am I actually muted? I don't think I am. I shouldn't be. But I can check the stream to double check that. I'm going to keep playing. And we'll just... Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I misread that. I was going to, but it wasn't. They weren't playing yet. They weren't playing yet. They weren't playing yet. I misinterpreted what you were saying, but no, I didn't find their game or their lobby yet, so I thought we'll cast the other set for now. I should probably amend that in the Discord, actually. Let me do that. We have a bit of time. Yeah. Alright, what have we got here? A palisade wall? Alright, guys. What's it gonna be? Second town center, that's a decent spot for it. What is this? Oh, is this just laming all the trees? I mean, sure, but there's a huge forest. Well, it's making space for a castle drop? There's not space for a castle. It's on stone? It's on stone. And red is going to go for castle. Is going to be in castle age. But there isn't space here for a castle. I mean, if you're ambitious here, but you need more than one villager for that. Huh. Alright. I would have still liked from yellow to see walls more like this, or like this. Not to leave this whole area unwalled. Yeah, red wants to drop a castle. But that's still some stone away, and also a suitable castle building spot away. That's why when it palisaded all the trees, but that castle is not going to work because there's already a barracks in the way. And now there's a tower too. Yellow saw what was going on. And now with the outpost, you can see basically anything that's happening there. Alright, so the villagers are going to go on the hunt. They know that there's a spot here. And there might actually be room for a castle there if it's placed in a perfect spot. Otherwise, further over on the side will be possible. Yeah. And the thing here is that yellow is not in Castle Age. And not on the way to Castle Age. Could get up pretty soon, but this is ugly on a map this small. It's like on Socotra getting, you know, tower or castle drop there. That's what you did. I mean, that's what you do, right? On the other hand, if you have enough feudal military, you can deny this. If you have no feudal military, you can't deny this. If you have a tower, the tower is late though, and this is a lot of villagers. It would work, but not this time. So the second tower, that's just, I don't know, that's just a palisade. Yeah. This is tricky. I think if you're in yellow's position, you can try and wall behind, but honestly I think Well, you get to Castle Age immediately. Ah, ha ha! That is a good point. That is, in fact, the Cumans, which we have here. Where does it say it is? It says Siege, Workshop, and Battering Rams available in the Feudal Age. Capped Ram in the Castle Age. That is an excellent point. Of course, you still need something to deal with the Knights and throwing Axemen. But Rams are theoretically could have even been a feudal option. And you don't normally see it, from what I understand from Cumans, actually in Feudal Age. But it's because it's a heavy wood investment. But you could. Oh, that's an excellent point. And honestly, that might be the play. You know, maybe like monks and rams or something like that, or monks, pikes, and rams. It would be a good idea. In this case, you know, there are enough units that are good against rams, all of this, that you would need some other military as well. Now, what yellow's actually going for is a defensive castle. You can see with that much stone. It's going to be downhill, but it will at least stall out the push. If this goes up. Which it probably will, although the mangonel could kill a lot of villagers. Yeah, so this is Master of HyperRandom. We're casting some of the round of 128 games. Not the set I originally announced, but the other set. Well, we have a university. Alright. What do I see? Kipchaks. It's still tricky. I mean, basically, red just has all of this area totally safe. To be fair, it would be easy to run some units through here to raid. I take no blame. This is an excellent game. But this castle is still awkward. It denies all of this gold, which means that yellow really needs to make something happen before this gold runs out. Oh no, the Kipchaks don't make it in. That's rough. That would have been a nice opportunity to raid, but that will no longer be possible. That being said, yellow is still good 15 villagers ahead at least, or 17, more like that. Decent number of villagers ahead, but very little building space. Made further difficult by the castles all over the place. Yeah, I think you need... What are you trying to rank around here? Do I have a rank command? I don't think I do. I could add that to the night bot. It does do some things, the bot. It probably does, like... I have a few things set up, but almost nothing. But my rank, anyway, is lower than these players. This is true. Now yellow gets a castle. Well, yellow might be able to get enough gold by securing the middle. Ha! Ha! What a crazy game. And the Siege Workshop. Yeah, now we can see those Castle Age capped rams, perhaps. Honestly, space is even an issue for yellow. Like, this is prime real estate for building production buildings because there's so little space. Despite this house going down, it won't be very easy to raid through here with a castle. to cramped passage. But let's see, so alright, red is on 3 town centers. Yellow's on 2. We see an archery range there. Ha. Alright, yeah, we see the ram upgrade. So we are gonna see the power of the Kumans there. I wonder, have either players... Yeah, they've gotten the range upgrades. You definitely should. If you've got castles sitting around. I mean, Fog of War, they should be able to have a decent view of what's going on. So, let's see. What does... Oh, well, yellow just lost a bunch of Kipchaks to the castle. Oh, that's a lot of rams, but rams can't garrison, so they're going to have a tricky job getting around here. I was going to say, what does yellow have to deal with Kipchaks? Deal with rams. Kipchaks do all right against rams, but not against this many rams. What does red have in terms of military other than rams? Nothing? Ah, some knights and some throwing axemen still. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. The rams are moving in. Oh, villagers are coming to the defense. Oh, and we see capped rams here as well. Are they going to counter-rush this castle? Or are they going to attack the other rams? Rams do get a bonus versus siege. I think you have the villagers attack rams rather than repair the castle here. Or maybe both. Trebs would be a better play, but neither player is an Imperial Age. And it's a bit awkward to get to Imp in this situation. Alright, so all the rams go down. Kipchaks, as... They're decent against rams because they fire multiple arrows and each one does the minimum damage. Go Imp and make Trebs. It's not a bad idea, and it could work. The risk is that while you spend the resources for Imp, you might get overrun if your opponent instead invests those resources in military. Although what we're seeing here is the villagers and the knight are going to take out the rams. Kipchaks are going to try and clear out the villagers. This castle might go down. 2 rams left. One of them's low, one of them's fine. A lot of Kipchaks went down. All the villagers went down. That's actually kind of bad because red doesn't have any more villagers here. So can't repair the castle, or can't build any new production buildings, and can't get new villagers there because there's now a yellow castle in the middle. So this does go down. This whole push is going to go down now. That being said, it's not the end of the world because red is going to have 4 TCs. Still has a castle blocking off this, and might well be faster to Imp because red is on the way to Imp. Exactly. That's perhaps also why red didn't have the units to clear this. So yeah, Imp will allow red to push back here, and of course this has all been untouched. Yellow is ahead by maybe 10 villagers. Not a huge amount, but yellow now has access to this gold and the relic and everything. And now we get sort of a Black Forest situation. Albeit with very cramped space. Alright. Yeah, both players are on the way now, but red will have time to get, probably like 2 trebs out, maybe? We have... Alright, rams are going to go for this... You could research murder holes to take out this barracks. But it does go faster if you use a ram. The other rams are all stuck. Because there's just no space. Alright, so Imp, we are seeing... Well, we see Axemen. Those are a solid counter to Rams. And we also see a Treb being trained. And we see... That, I think, is less necessary to have Husbandry. Where do you need high mobility in this setup? Throwing Axemen are surely a good idea, and maybe some ranged units. I mean, they are ranged units, I suppose. But here we go. The Treb is going to go down to the Rams. And the throwing axes should clear out the Trebs, although there are plenty of Kipchaks in the eco, and not much to deal with them right now. And not really that many throwing axemen, actually. I mean, they deal melee damage, which Rams have negative melee armor, but still. Yeah, I think Red probably should have delayed a bit, made more throwing axemen here, and held this position, and gone to Imp a bit later. Of course, the risk for both players is that the other player gets to Imp first. But at this point, both are an Imp, neither castle has gone down, so the advantage of getting there early is largely nullified. And now we'll have to see what the players go for. These knights all have 0 upgrades. The Kipchaks, on the other hand, have very good upgrades, so probably a bit of armor, and then these knights can clear that out. And here we need to see Trebs firing back and forth the whole time, and repairs going in the whole time, and more throwing axemen. Although in a Treb war, the throwing axemen become less important. At that point, it just becomes, you know, just having more Trebs is what matters. Maybe even get a second castle up to increase Treb production. Theoretically, yellow could produce Trebs out of both castles, given enough resources. I'd like to see some upgrades on these knights, like just a basic armor upgrade would do. We're not seeing that though. We're just seeing more unupgraded knights. It's easy to forget these things in the heat of the battle, especially if you're not a professional player, or even if you are. Or it could be that you want to invest all your resources into something else. These are probably around like 1200, 1300, something like that. Maybe a little bit more. Which is still a pretty good rank. I mean, I'm like 970 right now. 1000 is average. So, you know, these aren't bad players. They're, you know, above average players. It's just we're always used to seeing pros on most streams. Or very good players. This castle is not looking very healthy. I think you use the Treb against the other Trebs. Yeah. Now Red is in a bit of a pickle. The Knights... Okay, they have some armor now, finally, and they're getting more armor. And that's GG, though, Red calls it, after losing the castle. It was a good push here. Maybe just more throwing axemen might have held that position instead of going to Imp so quickly. And here, well, it would have been possible to play on. I don't think it was necessarily over at this point, but it is tough for Red. And there is still this happening, which has probably contributed to the GG. I think armor upgrades on the Knights a bit earlier could have helped, perhaps. But this is what we have. That was game 1 of this set. It's tough when you're under pressure to know what to do. Yellow ended up getting, well, had more villagers, so it makes sense that this would be more. Yeah. I mean, red tried the first attempt at a ram push. If that had been backed up by more military, it could have worked. But I think red didn't have enough units, or the units that were there didn't have enough armor to actually support the rams. And then when that failed, there weren't enough units to deal with the counter ram push. Yeah, like this fight right here, I think, is the decisive one, where red lost all of the military but failed to take down the castle or the TC or anything. The initial castle drop was good, though. Alright. Alright, so... boom. I'm gonna have to switch to AO2.net again, likely. Question now is, do we continue with this set? Or do we switch to the other one? I was gonna cast the other one. But let's see what I can find, what's online. Okay, someone else is casting Demon Llama. Blackadder is. So, yeah, if you want to watch that set, you can head over there. Okay, because now both sets are running. So, given that Blackadder is casting Demon Llama versus Mike 12321, I will continue with the set that we're looking at. So I see the next match here, Rayfer and Mr. Danger. Open link. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, what have we got today for us? We have Britons and Bulgarians. Players have picked the same colors again, that's always nice. And layout-wise, we sort of have a forest in the middle. Then we have two big hills on each side. I'm not seeing anything too crazy. We're starting with an extra tent, probably because we started with an extra villager. Or just because no particular reason. And what have we got resources-wise? The fruit bushes, once again, are looking very healthy. So are the pigs. Boars are not so good. Stone is fine. Gold. Gold, there isn't so much gold. The gold mines are all, except for these far gold mines, all less full, but there's plenty of neutral gold as well, so that's all fine. Yeah, basically this is just sort of a standard, you could call it maybe an Oasis type map. It's more open than that though. But we have nothing too crazy going on here. Oh, well, we did start with the Chuko Nu as the starting scout. That is something. Of course, you have to remember all of these starting scout units always have 0 upgrades, so even though they seem very strong, you know, like the archer units don't have a long range, for example. The deer, there's a 6 deer here. That's a solid amount of deer. If we check here, we also have our party of deer. Alrighty, who should we watch? Red was the player who lost a villager last game to war, right? To an elephant. Not this time, though. Alright, let's speed up. There are plenty of Komodo dragons all over the place. Ooh, there's some neutral boar over here. And some neutral pigs. For the person who does a good job scouting. Alright. Let's see. Oh, we have some pinging. What is that? Players showing each other where they are. Who died? Someone died. I feel like the other Chukonu died. Let's check. Where does Red have a scout? Red lost the scout, I believe. The Chukonu. Alright. Alright, so we are in Feudal Age. What? Red is going for scouts as Britons. That can be done. And especially at somewhat lower levels, you'll see a higher diversity of strategies, I would say. Maybe not executed as well, but more different things are tried and can be viable. This scout can probably deal with the Chukonu, I think. Let's see. Yeah. But we do see men-at-arms basically as soon as Yellow gets a Feudal Age, because Bulgarians get the instant upgrade for their, well, their sword person line, swordman line. And what do we have? We have one scout, one men-at-arm went down. So the men-at-arms have more attack but less HP. They have the same HP as a scout. They're slower. That's their only disadvantage. Maybe the attack rate is different. That's a hidden stat. The scouts do clear up, though. Maybe the scouts attack faster. I could imagine that that's the case. Shall we see? Alright, Yellow has full walled this. Nope. Now Yellow has noticed. Whoops. Turns out there was a hole. Better patch that hole. There are, of course, more places that need to be walled, like right here. And right here. But this is now walled. And Red is sending 2 villagers forward. What's going to accompany scouts? I mean, it could be for the Castle Age plan of having a siege workshop with archers here, or it could just be to have a siege workshop anyway. Oh, what difficulty are these guys playing on? They're playing on extreme. Yeah, there's a reason. Officially, you're supposed to play on standard, just because predators have increased line of sight on difficulties higher than standard. They actually have a lower line of sight on easiest, but it doesn't make a big difference. Men-at-Arms got buffed recently. They did, however, for Bulgarians, because the upgrade is free anyway, what supplies is cheaper, that helps, and the longsword will, the extra armor in Castle Age helps. I don't think Men-at-Arms themselves got buffed recently. If you only supplies upgrade and the upgrade to Man-at-Arms. And yes, spears against scouts are the choice. Although now that they're archers, this was a 2 archery ranges forward. That's when the spears are not so nice anymore. If the scouts were just the opening, we're not likely to see more scouts from our Britons player because Britons have especially good archers in, well, starting in Castle Age. And also because you need archers to get through here. I find it interesting here that yellow's stonewalling here. Okay, so yellow's stonewalling there too. Otherwise, I mean, if you're not going to wall at all, then you either need to wall everywhere or nowhere. But it looks like everywhere is the answer. And these spears will chase the scouts around. And these archers, they're actually going to break through with the help of a couple melee units. And yellow needs to put like a market or something there. A market only because it's a large building, so the archers can't shoot at you while you build it. Plus you might want a market to have later on anyway. Both players are going up to Castle Age at about the same time. The archers are in. And yellow has 2 skirmishers. That's not quite enough. Especially if red decides to use scouts to deal with the skirmishers. These gold villagers, quick walling doesn't help against scouts. And this, yeah, this is still needs to be closed, but yellow is too busy at the moment, given that this is an immediate threat. Heh. True. True. Magyars have that advantage. And what I find that I can get away with at my elo level, probably would even work still here at this level, is if you're being harassed too much, just send like 12 villagers up to the north, to the top of the map, and just mine that gold and build a lumber camp there. The chance that your opponent finds it, especially if you've killed their auto scout already, is pretty low. That doesn't work at higher levels, or doesn't work so well at higher levels. And it is also, you're risking a catastrophic loss if it does get found, but it's a good way to have a some safe income when you're constantly garrisoning and pulling villagers from various resources. Alright, this hole is still open. Red is now ambitious and is going to produce archers from 3 archery ranges. And a knight. We see bloodlines and elite skirmisher from Bulgarians. Let's see, so yellow... Okay, if yellow had enough stone, if yellow had a market, I mean, a Craypost, I think a Craypost could be decent for emergency defense. It's cheaper than an emergency castle. So that might be just the thing to have here, but that requires more stone. The thing is, Bulgarians, well, they get their skirmisher, they do get elite skirmisher. They don't get anything past archers, so you normally don't go into ranged units at all with Bulgarians. Skirmishers are acceptable in Castle Age, though. They'll still be outranged here. 5 plus 2 is 7. I say that. They're not outranged at the moment. I think you are correct. Red does know how to put on the early pressure, and yellow knows how to boom. Hence the attempt to wall everything. But at this point it's tricky. There's a market. Yellow has no gold. There is gold to be had. Alright, managed to buy an emergency Craypost. That was my suggestion. It makes sense to put it here, or at least it makes sense that that's where you would decide to put it. It would have been better to put it back here, I think, covering the stone and the wood, or maybe right where the market is, honestly. Delete the market. Maybe not delete the market, but like up here. Well, stone walls take a long time to break through, especially in Castle Age. But maybe that's a lot. Maybe that stone could have been better invested in and getting one of these up earlier to defend. Turkey, I mean, basically in this game, what happened is that red managed to make a hole, and yellow was not able to deal with the resulting pressure. So that would have required either more effective walling or more units earlier. Or a more timely crepost. Yeah, KD. Red just had a solid military there. While yellow struggled to defend. There we go. Now let's... I need to destroy 10 houses, but we're going to do that in a bit. Right, let me just see. You know, what are the odds? 0. Okay. Thought so. Let me go find them over here. Okay. Rodney McKay. We saw that person play yesterday. Are they playing today as well? That is interesting. Anyway, I think we need to wait a moment. They haven't started their match just yet. I'm not seeing any lobbies. Yeah, it looks like they're taking a moment. Hello, hello. Just waiting right now for the next match to start. I could actually put up a big overlay, but I'll just leave it. Like I could put up this overlay, but the stream is actually still going on, so I won't. We can put on some more music, though. Maybe you guys can figure out which track this is. Okay, that's fine. Today's the 15th. 15th. Oh, it's possible that they're not playing the rest of the set. It says most likely finishing on the 16th. It is Schamberger, but it is Schamberger in reverse. I don't know. I'll be deciding spontaneously when I cast. Basically, during Christmas, I always do family things, so there'll be a time window probably until the new year where I won't be able to do any casting. After that, like early January, I'll be able to cast again, and whether I'll have co-casters, if anyone's interested, maybe. I would be down for that. I don't think I've casted Age of Empires with a co-caster. I've done that for other games. Would be nice though, then I wouldn't have to talk continuously for the whole time. You were told to be a good caster, or that you would be a good caster, to be a better caster. We can consider it. Let me just see. Let me just ask if it might be that they're just not playing the rest of the set today. Let me see if I can ask about that. Games today, and you know, if they're not playing anymore today, then the question is, what do we look at? We could switch onto the Demon Llama versus Mike set. If the set that we're following is not playing any more games today. I think they might be doing that tomorrow. Alright, we have an Amsterdam. Okay, and as to why Schamberger in reverse, I don't know. I found it on YouTube and thought it sounded cool. And I need a fine selection of tracks that won't get blocked in the VOD later on. Which unfortunately most pieces of music that aren't either custom made or do end up being muted later on. Alright, so... Alright, looks like I'm going to do one more check, and if we don't see their match now, I'm going to switch over and we'll cast the other set. I will check out that link. Well, I'll copy it and I will take it out, check it out later. The key is for it to be non-copyright. Like I made just a streaming playlist for map scripting, and it's all the YouTube free tracks that you can use. Alright, looks like Velas is playing today as well. We could watch that. That's gonna be a less balanced match though. Ah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not gonna check it out right now, but let's take a look. I'm not gonna look at the Velas match. That's surely gonna be super unbalanced. Let's look at the Demon Llama one. We'll close Schamberger. We'll open this. Especially because Demon Llama did do a tournament, I don't know, probably a year ago now at this point, featuring a bunch of my maps, so I think I should cast this. Let's take a look at this game. There we go. We have Aztecs versus Berbers. We have Demon Llama versus TRCL Milk12321 on HyperRandom. They're playing the round of 128. Looks like a bear spawned really close here, but player started with, what is this? What unit is this? Is this the Raider Swordsman or something like that? It has 0 attack, so it will always default to 1 attack because everything just floors to a minimum. Or always does at least 1 damage. And it has 1,000 armor. Haha! Alrighty, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Oh boy! So basically these things can take 45 hits. But they do so little damage. Oh no. How many did they start with? Did they start with 2 each? They're actually not that great because they can only take 45 hits. They won't take much damage in a single hit, but they will go down by being attacked by a bunch of units. Alright, so map-wise. The middle of the map is filled... Oh boy, this is not entirely fair, is it? Is filled with fruit bushes that are only 29 food. Okay, that's... Thank goodness it's only 29, otherwise this would be super unfair. But the unfair thing, actually, that I was thinking about is that this player is not connected to the middle, but this player is. So that could be a huge advantage. But in this case, it's not a huge advantage because this isn't actually that much food. Magyar's here. I mean, their bonus only applies to villagers, but you could just send in villagers. I mean, even a villager could go down to this many bears. But yes. Unfortunately, we don't have Magyars. We have Aztecs and Berbers. Let's take a look. Oh, poor Demon Llama. This is... They shouldn't be connected here, but they are. Oh boy. And these fruit bushes. Like if they were all like 400 food, then this would be actually quite nice. But with 29 food each, you don't want to risk 60 million bears. All right, who's being? Oh boy. Nice dock. I'll take it. This dock, well, think of it as a mill. 300 box turtles. And, well, docking the outside would have made more sense. But you can't know that. That's the thing on maps like this. You don't know how good the fish will be. I wouldn't run into the middle with the bears. I guess he doesn't know that there's no path to the enemy, so he's going to try and lure them to the enemy. But there should be. I mean, normally because it's balanced, there should always be one. But there's... I mean, honestly, this is the type of situation where if the players wanted to call an admin re, I would allow it, because you know I would consider that a bug. But like the bear rush is a great idea, it just doesn't work. At least blue can't. Blue's trying to go for the bear rush, but it just didn't work. What blue did manage to do is get a bunch of bears close to purple. Purple could go for it, but doesn't know. Alright, so let's take a look. I think essentially each player has lost one of their starting scouts. No one's lost any villagers, though. Hey, bad script. Yes. Well, the issue on a technical level is that this, where blue spawned, this land is too close to this thing in the middle. So they can't have the gap between them because they started right next to each other. If this land was positioned a bit further away, it would be fine. Or if this player was a bit further away. But like this, well, you've got this situation. It's playable, right? It's at this point, I think the bears. There's one more there. If you're going to send a landing force, take a bunch of villagers to deal with bears. All right, looks like the other scout went down there. And like the middle is full of bears now, but everything else is okay. Blue probably still thinks he's connected to the other side. Although maybe he's realized it by now. That's a bit sad that he isn't, otherwise we would have had the epic bear rush. Unbearable. That's true, they're not unbearable. Alright, let's see. Did they put it on... Are they playing on extreme? Oh, they are, so the bears have extra line of sight too. Or have a large line of sight, so to say. The question is these unbearable bears. I see two more bears that can't bear to have a mill constructed right here. They're not going to be happy. Meanwhile, I think neither player started with berries at all. Oh, they did. There's some berries right there. 145. So, are any of these the actual berries? The berries? Alright, see? I told you the bears wouldn't bear to have a mill built here. Well played, though, actually, to not lose any villagers despite the bear situation. I don't know where the normal fruit bush landed for Demon Llama. Maybe. Oh, maybe it was here and he already used it up because it was only a couple bushes. Well, all right. Let's go. We have the next fun thing to look at. Our purple player decided to be clever and do a landing. But ran into all the bears that the scouting unit had brought there. Actually manages to clear them all out. I didn't think so. I thought the bears could win that, but predators, as soon as you get loom, they're really not very good anymore. There's still lots of bears over there. I guess purple ran the scout over there. Oh, I missed that. Did I miss that? I could make them stronger. I think purple ran a bunch of bears. Took height of the first unit. Said I missed that with the scout. You mean the mixing here like this? I think it looks really nice. And thanks for joining. Yeah, okay, so the scout, well, the heavy swordsman ran in with all the bears. They all died to the TC. Just even towering, like 29 food each. Barely worth it. Hey, the reeds. Actually, there are a fair amount of reeds here on this setup. Basically, they're like, I don't know how many. I have like 12 different terrain sets. I don't know exactly how many it is. Maybe it's more like 15. Each of which has a bunch of subsets, and then each of those has like 3 main forest types that are mixed with each other. So it's reeds, bamboo. This is supposed to be like the Asian forest, so it's bamboo, reeds, and then the oak bush forest, for example, and then on top of hills it has pines. And then every different forest has a mixture. Oh no, always wall to the water. Always just drag the wall as far as it goes. That being said, I think there's a hole somewhere over there too. That might not be a hole. This is why you play with small trees. Actually, it's not a hole. You can see that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a tower war. The thing here, this tower might be built on the cracked terrain, which would mean it takes 25% more damage. I spent a lot of time trying to make them look nice. I've talked about this before, but yeah, the recent update that I did, or like about a month ago now, was to make it so that when there are hills that are pretty tall, those are a different color on the mini-map, and then it gradually blends down. So you can tell where hills are on the mini-map more easily. That also allowed me to notice that actually there is still a bias where hills tend to be placed in the south, even if you say that you want balanced elevation. You don't really notice it normally, you only notice it when you color it with a different color on the minimap. Meanwhile, in our match here, the Tower War continues. This one can go up. It's right at the edge of the range, but not when there are archers here. There's still all the bears over there too. Yeah, I mean, the goal with the script was always to make it so that it could generate sort of any type of standard-ish looking map and look like it was actually intended to be that map, to be whatever it is. Let's see. So the Eagles, they're just doing some scouting. Alright, yeah, for your boss fight, right? To improve the boss, or to just make the boss behavior. Ooh, we are landing fresh villagers to continue the fight, and the fresh villagers have attracted the wrath of the bears. See, scout units don't trigger bears, but villagers do. Garrison in the tower. Garrison in the tower, or I guess just no, garrison in the tower is what you want to do here. Garrison all the villagers in the tower. I guess the Eagles will deal with it eventually. The thing here is, despite everything, this tower rush achieves very little. Yes, it achieves a response, but these berries were never so many anyway. It's 29 oranges. And all the important resources are on the back. So actually what would have achieved more would have been to send like galleys circling around everywhere, I think. But of course you can't know that initially. Huh. How did the Eagles get in? Was there a gap somewhere there after all? Oh, they made that's this hole right here. The tower made a hole. I guess the more important thing, gameplay-wise right now, is that blue is not on the way to Castle Age yet. Could click up, but purple's well on the way there. And so far the tower rush is doing well. I mean, it's still going at least. And if it achieves its goal of delaying the opponent's Castle Age time, that's good. And with this many towers left, you can upgrade them to Guard Tower. And get the range upgrades for them. So we'll see here. I see. Yeah. I never did get good at the inheritance. Interesting. There's AI scripting in this game too, which is something I've only touched casually a bit. Never really gotten into. Alright, so this archery range isn't looking too happy. There's a new one back here. Berbers against Aztecs. Could go cavalry, actually. Like knights, given enough resources. That might be the play. Or lots of archers. Archers aren't the best against eagles, though. Are these still eagle scouts? I think so. No, they're eagle warriors. Okay. That could be GG if it goes up. And I don't think even when these become crossbows... Actually, with 6 range, they might be able to clear this out without all dying to the tower. Hello. And welcome. Well, indeed. Actually, how's if you? I don't know if anyone's here from the other stream. Maybe you know how what the score is in this set. Yes, siege would be useful from both sides. We have a siege workshop here producing a battering ram. Maybe a mangonel would have been better. I mean, you can fight a tower with a repair villager. Not a garrison tower though. What have we got at home? Second TC, third TC, a happy boom, and a villager lead. Still, docking the back would have been better than docking the turtles in the middle. Siege, I mean, siege would be useful from either side, right? Useful to push the TC, but also useful to push the towers. Also useful against the crossbows. That ram gets knifed down. This tower is going to go down. The crossbows, though, are enough to clear out the eagles. And maybe you're right. Maybe a siege workshop here. It's a bit tricky to find space to build one. But some mangonels to fire down on the TC. And to fire on these should they get too close. Could be useful. We see now the mangonel actually going for the tower. Probably. Okay. Interesting. So you have each unit. So you just inherit it from each unit. Okay. What do we see here? Archery range. Well, I guess skirmishers could be a thing. You need a fair amount of skirmishers. And this is why you need murder holes. No, this is actually why you... We do see a very big villager difference, yes, because this is one TC. I don't know if there's a second one somewhere back there. No. Even walled off here to prevent further landings. But looks like this forward... The Eagle Warriors should do all... They might be able to snipe this, but... Also, the crossbows need to stand closer to the towers to not get shot at. The tower's going to go down, but still. This is also where if you want to keep the towers, you do research guard tower. And even, like, masonry or architecture. Or both, at some point. Alright, what have we got? Let's take a look. What is... Stop selecting the turtle. What is purple going for? 73 to 43 villagers. Not producing any villagers right now. Producing skirmishers. Alright, that's... The thing is, the skirmishers... Yeah, once the mangonel gets sniped, they're okay. Probably siege workshop would have been better than building the archery range. But I'm not sure if the hill would have allowed a siege workshop. Elo, I can check when we don't have a big fight going on. Also, something like that. Yeah, that's what I... 1300 sounds more right than 1800. Nah, I'm pretty sure it's more like 1300 in the round of 128. And that's the rating of the other sets we've watched in this set. 2K15, 2K50, 2K500. Alright. Well, even if all of this gets destroyed, our purple player has a nice eco, totally untouched, on a separate island, mind you. Many TCs, now has a castle which wasn't... I guess it was the castle. It was just to have a unit for Imp. The castle can be used instead of building 2 Castle Age buildings. And, yes, our blue player would need to actually land here. We can talk about something else, too. I mean, let's watch this a bit more. But Aztecs don't get a good navy. They don't get galleon. They don't get heavy demo ship. They don't get cannon galleons at all. They're one of the few civilizations that don't. Berbers, on the other hand, I'm sure... Yep, let's not do that. Berbers do have a pretty decent navy, if I remember correctly. That's also true. We'll talk about that in a second. It might be that both players have forgotten that they can win by wonder victory. Berbers get everything except whatever this tech is, which is like dry dock maybe, or shipwright? Dry dock? Aztecs do have good monks, I suppose. They can convert the cannon galleons. Alright, so this is actually a fair point. If you find yourself on an islands map, many players will forget this, but you could just fast imp into a wonder. The thing is, a wonder not only takes a long time to build, you also have to hold it a long time, and it takes a lot of villager time. And your opponent knows it from the second that you start. Alright, so blue, it's added the second TC. Has added anything else? Well, it's basically just ramming down this entire push here. What do we see from purple and imp? A new transport ship. Let's see what we've got on offer. Jaguar warriors. Why? Jaguar warriors are not particularly good against crossbows. They have a bonus versus infantry. They're not as fast as eagles, so they have a harder time sniping siege. Yeah. Where's the transport ship being built? Build more houses. Oh no. Oh no, all these houses going down have severely housed our purple player. Well, the transport ship needs to be built somewhere else. Meanwhile, we see multiple transport ships being queued up here. I'm not sold on the Jaguar play. I mean, they're fine just as infantry in general, but they have no relevant bonuses in this matchup. And I don't think they have particularly high pierce armor, actually. True, actually, this castle here being denied, that was big. Like, if that castle had gone up, this matchup, it might have been over already. Never resign. Actually, that's not true. Alright, is this a ladle? I believe it is, right? Yeah, that gives skirmishers some sort of bonus damage or something of that sort. Skirmishers, +1 attack, +1 range. That is a relevant tech in this situation. Is he though? I mean, the villager difference is not as big as it once was. And Demon Llama now actually has better map control. Although isn't an imp. That does need to be said. We're gonna fight across the river. Oh, of course. Look, look. One of their players is on water right here and has like 2 transport ships queued and garrisoned in there. And the other player lost their dock over here. 3 transport ships. No, but really you should. I mean, look at all this. There's a great marlin there for 400 fish. Or a dorado. Or a snapper. Or another marlin. Or some more box turtles. Purple was on water before and fished all of these shore turtles, but I guess they went down to crossbows, all the fishing ships. Yes. The last time I played on my own map in a tournament, that was Demon Llama's tournament, actually. Or, yeah, it was the Llama's Chaos Cup. I lost. I was, like, the lowest seed, and I lost 2 games and was out right away. I think both players should actually be going for water here more. It's tricky because a lot of players just don't play water at all, so they don't like doing it. I also made the chance of water maps less likely. So you should only have like an island map like this 10% of the time now, I think. Where before it was more like 16%. I mean, no sneaky transports when you have this happening. Full Jaguars versus Goths. Longswords. I mean, you could go full Jaguars versus Berber Longswords, if the Berbers make longswords. I think so. They had a lot of fun. They started out, you know, with all the bears everywhere and had a lot of fun with those. Build a wonder. Actually, I think if you want to go for a wonder victory, you have to have water control. I think if you actually want to go for a wonder, I don't think either player remembers that they can go for a wonder. I don't even know if they remember to set up standard. They did that at least. But if you don't have water control, then you can just get ranged. Although not if you're against Aztecs who have no cannon galleons. Trebs take out this castle though. No way to defend other than your own Trebs because... What's it? Alright, let's take a look at the landing. So, I think we want to see this from the point of view of our purple player who sees nothing, but should have seen the transport ships. He's moving the skirmishers into position, essentially. I mean, you could also theoretically, like, in early Castle Age, just grab all the relics. If I were playing as Lithuanians, I might actually end up getting a relic victory because I just prioritize the relics way too much and just grab them all. Alright, alright. Do we have any upgrades on the Jaguars? We do have some upgrades on them. And we have lots of upgrades on the elite skirmishers. Actually, in that match, yeah, it was basically the relics, right, that caused the GG. Well, I mean, yeah, the thing is Jaguars don't have any special amount of pierce armor. That's the main problem in this match. I think even, I mean, the fact Purple's landing could have succeeded regardless of whether or not this was imbalanced. It's certainly not ideal that it was imbalanced. I do see some ballistics there. In fact, I think all the relevant upgrades for skirmishers are in. Do we have... No, Aztecs don't get Thumb Ring. If both players had been separated, they would have been... Well, the landing could have still happened. It would have just been over here or over on the side instead. Like, almost... The Tower Rush did almost more damage by going down the center. Like, that could have worked, really. Alright, purple's currently producing nothing, which when you're not at 100 pop, when you're not full... I mean, both players are at 86 villagers. Build more villagers. Look at how much food you're sitting on. Look at how many resources you're sitting on. Look at this. Yes, I mean, a landing is good, but build more everything. Also, build this TC, but... 152 pop. Yes, it's very exciting to be microing these 2 transport ships, but... Train stuff. Spend these, buy all the upgrades for everything. Buy masonry, buy architecture, buy siege engineers, buy, I don't know, heavy demo ship. You can't buy normal demo ship. Fast fire ship, murder holes, treadmill crane. Treadmill crane, that will let you drop a castle faster. Yes. Elite Jaguar Warrior. Yeah, you could get that too. What's the elite upgrade do? Actually, they are elite already. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Research more other things, though. Build more units. I mean, same for both players. Like, neither is near 200 pop. Neither has more than 100 villagers. And neither has anything on water. Like, fish boom. Fish boom. Or like fire ships or galleys, something. There is also, in fact, yes, an upgrade for transport. Do Aztecs get? This upgrades the transport. This upgrades their transport ship capacity. Aztecs do get that. Wow. All right, let's take a look at our blue player's Fog of War. Yep, our blue player knows that there's a landing. Jaguar Warriors are not the play here. Elite Skirmishers are. And if you're just going into crossbows, you might as well just add, like, Siege. Or Eagles. Elite Eagle Warriors. They have more Pierce armor than Jaguars. Or at this point, if you see the Cavaliers, that's when you now get the pikemen. How are the transport ships on the other side doing? They're just chilling. There is a landing planned here, but not happening just yet. Also, purple, keep making villagers. And just spam, like, queue up 15 skirmishers in here, and 15 eagles in there. And 15 spearmen in there. And another 15 of something in there. Jaguars don't have any special upgrades against cavalry. Yeah, we are seeing the right counter units there, though. This is going to be a long game. This is going to be a long game because neither player has remembered that they can build a Wanderer, or neither player wants to. Oh boy, good that I just happened to be looking over here for no particular reason. How is the barrack situation at home looking? Not so good. Also use this stone and build more defensive castles or more offensive castles. Although actually with this many skirmishers, are they going to take? They're not going to clear this, are they? Well, actually, yes. Goodbye, economy. If if this happens to you, then you have to realize, okay, I've lost villagers. Select all the TCs, queue up, 15 villagers at each again, and then you can be fine, especially with this much food banked. But yeah, I think Purple had the chance. The early landing, the early aggression, the tower rush, that could have paid off. I think adding siege there, even if it was tricky to build a siege workshop, would have been more useful than adding skirmishers. And might have been able to actually push this and force the castle down after all. Because now, 58 villagers, still losing, still bleeding units. Yeah, it'll be cleared up. But that was rough. Meanwhile, this push is being overrun. And Purple actually doesn't have nearly enough gold right now coming in, or enough villagers on gold. There's a gold mine. That might be the only one left. There must be one more somewhere else. Yeah. Are we looking at blue? We are looking at blue. Whoops. You're right. Never mind. Actually, this is a classic noob problem. Resigning when you have 10 bajillion resources because you can't spend them. With this many resources, what you can actually do is buy 1,000 stone and put down a castle. Put down a wonder. But it's GG, and I'm guessing by the fact that you've come here into chat that that was the set. And you did win the Islands match, and both players here, you both managed to successfully avoid making any sort of navy. Why don't I use Capture Age? Excellent question. Because I'm streaming off a mediocre laptop. And Capture Age uses a lot of resources. And I'm not sure my computer can handle running Capture Age and OBS at the same time. There is one more game. Ooh. Normally this shouldn't happen. Like, I would consider this is not intentional to have a situation where one person's connected and the other one isn't. I could actually try streaming with Capture Age. I've never done it. I only use it to take full map screenshots. But even just doing that, my computer Capture Age is quite resource intensive. Yeah, we saw that. We saw that. So if you guys have one more game, are you playing that like now-ish, soon? I don't have any stream delay on, by the way. Maybe I need to do that. No stream sniping. No, if you're playing it soon, then I'll cast it. Otherwise, I'm gonna go, Oh, or am I just like totally really far behind? Ah, I see how it is. Is it a fun match to watch? I see how it is. Right. We're actually pretty far behind. I started watching this when it was late. Yeah, send me the rec on Discord. Let's do that. I can do that. Messy is good. Messy is fun. Let me get on some more music and I'll get the rec set up. What do we want in his music today? The Last Cons. Alright, found the... Yep, I'm done with that. Alright, enjoy the evening. There are honestly, spoilers are overrated, so I'm just gonna... I don't care about spoiling things. The interesting thing is always the how, not the who. Yeah, I turned it down a bit. It was loud. Alright, alright. I am gonna plop in, I'm still gonna cast it, but enjoy your stuff. Did I paste it in? Come on. 3 files with the same names. Alright, but we don't need to do that. I think I only have VCL on less than 100%, that's why it's so hard. It'll be fine though. Berbers vs. Aztecs was what we just saw. Gary and Rick, so we want to watch strengths. Wait. Which one are we gonna... We could just watch them in no particular order. Because that was the final one. You know what? Let's watch the other two just in reverse order. Why not? Load replay. Alright, let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. Close this. Alright, turn up the volume. Like that. Fog of War, bam. Wait, that's not the right game. I think game was playing tricks on me again. Alright, who allowed cheats? Who allowed cheats for their match? Is it further? Burgundians and Tatars, Aztecs, Berbers. Berbers, Aztecs. Berbers, Aztecs. Let's look at this one here. This one looks promising. Burgundian Tatars, actually, yeah. Game was messing with me a bit. So let's see. Have we got everything set up? Looks good to me. Burgundians and Tatars. We have a buildable shallow river in the middle. So essentially you could build ships, but there's really no reason to. And you can wall it as well, so it's mostly just a classic land setup. And resources-wise, we can go a bit faster while we take a look at the Dark Age. Oh, good amount of gold. Turkeys are not so good. 3 javelinas, but these are barely even worth 1 normal javelina. And what have we got over there? Decent enough resources overall, I'd say. So you say this will be a messy game. I actually believe that. We've seen a lot of messy games. Also, each player here starting with a horse scout. You can auto scout with these guys. Uh-oh. Ooh. Okay, that was just waiting for the boar. Fair enough. Alright, so we milled the deer here. Fair enough. Alright, let's slow down a bit. Alright, we see a barracks and a barracks. Fog of War. neither player has seen anything. Oh, neither player has seen the barracks, at least. At this point yet. We see the militia. We see so both of you are going for a drush. Well, it's going to be they're both going to be men at arms actually by the time they attack. And do we see? We do see a third one. Oh, are they just going to run into each other? And we're off to a fight. Uh-oh, looks like they were clicked somewhere over there. Alright. Waiting for the men-at-arms upgrade to come in, which... That's a reasonably fast upgrade. What are these villagers doing? Are they just here to help in the fight, or are they going to build a forward archery range on the neutral island? Yes. Alright, so men-at-arms can take this fight. Although, if the villagers help, then... The villagers? I think the villagers win this, yeah. The villagers are loomed. Archery range goes up, but... but we see an archery range here too. Now... Burgundians have the option to do all kinds of eco upgrades an age earlier. While Tatars have the advantage, you have the option to use hill bonuses very well. And get more out of herdables, though there weren't especially many good herdables this time around. And cav archers, yeah. Looks like the deer here have run out. There are more deer to be had. No. Well, there are, but they're real far away. Might be a time to get the boar. Alright, we see the tower. So that's actually what we saw in the last game, even though it was an islands game. We also saw the tower rush on the berries, even. Hey, no worries. Only 3 villagers to get this tower up, though. This means, yeah, it is quite possible to rush down the tower and or the villagers. Even if the tower goes up, it can just be knifed down again. And Berber villagers... Why do I keep saying Berbers? We're Burgundians. Never mind. That was the last match. I was going to say Berber villagers are faster, but this is true, but also not relevant in this specific situation here. Alright. Villagers can also fight skirmishers. Especially loomed, as long as they're loomed villagers. Alright, that villager is going down. So at this point, the tower rush has failed. Both players have, you know, idle villagers all over the place, but Demon Mama is ahead, having not lost a bunch of forward builders. Alright. No, don't build the mining camp. Build the tower first. I don't agree with this. I mean, the mining camp will even go up, but no. Meanwhile, that's just a house. Why? It gives line of sight, which is valuable. And it just, you know, could distract the archers. I question this. I mean, yes, it's not visible right now, but really? There is... Okay, this is pretty far away. There's stone to be had. Backup stone. What is Red going for? Just wanted... I mean, Red has villagers on stone at home, too. I guess maybe Red didn't have enough stone at the time when the lumber camp was being built, but... Alright, with this many villagers, and yeah, the tower is going to go up, but what does a tower really achieve? It denies the stone. And this stone is over there, so I guess that's something. And it does deny the berries. But there are other areas like the gold and the wood. Meanwhile, villager count 2 difference. That's not that big. Anyone on the way to Castle Age? Not so close. The advantage of a tower rush, of course, is that it just causes a lot of idle time and really messes with people's build orders, because you have to pull a bunch of villagers to do various things. Let's see. This one's going to go up first, but this one's also going to go up. Do any villagers go down? No. No, skirmisher goes down. That villager could go down. Yeah. This farm needs to be deleted at this point. Although, if the towers focus on each other, maybe it is safe to farm there. Meanwhile, that's just a random turkey. We see another stable. Looks like our red player is going for lots of scouts. And our blue player is still going for archers. Now, archers are a decent choice at dealing with villagers that are behind walls. So they can be useful in this case. This tower is going to be repaired. But the repair villagers are forced to hide in there. So actually with... if these... yeah, the tower could go down if these stay long enough to kill the villagers. However, not if the scouts make it in time, which they are. Now at this point though, I'm noticing neither player is producing villagers. And both players have enough food to produce villagers. Okay, fine. I mean, this could be saving up for Castle Age. I'll grant that. Might be worth idling for that. But make villagers. I'm honestly, all of this criticism is just so that I have something to say. Don't take anything personally. I would have played worse. This tower's gonna go down though. But you are up on the way to Castle Age. I mean, this is what ultimately matters. And I think with this much stone, what you can do in Castle Age is plop a castle right here, shoot down both towers, and just be safe. And let's see, at this point, like that tower, how is that tower ever going to go up? Breaking through, sure, because it's full walled right now. It's not full walled, you could run the scouts, the red scouts could run in here. I don't feel like breaking through here to get this tower up is the best strategy. Like the tower rush here, maybe here, achieved its goal. But at this point, red needs to either do a lot of damage with these scouts or get up to the next stage. And granted, the scouts are doing clearing up army. Oh, it's absolutely easier to say stuff. And this stone was inaccessible. This stone was real far away. You might not have seen that at the time. Actually, once again, I need to be really careful looking at resources. Make sure whose point of view I am when I look at the resource bar at the top. With this much gold, I mean, I guess here the towers are still here. They're still a threat. So probably Siege Workshop can help against the towers, and then like spearmen or pikemen. Or you sell all the gold and buy stone. This is where Saracens, that's the advantage of Saracens, is that you can very cheaply you can put a bunch on gold. Gold gathers quickly, and then just buy whatever you need. Still, I mean, lots of idle time. I would have had idle time here too, but keep the TC producing. Also, keep the TC producing. Both players. Yes, this requires a lot of micro. But if we look at the economy, 35 to 31, that's not the end of the world. This lumber camp needs to be replaced. Go over there. And the towers are still going, but let's see, a ram. Ram is fine, but there needs to be something to deal with the scouts, which could be a couple more spearmen. Like, at this point, the tower rush is becoming a bit encircling. The gold is still safe, though. I guess that's what matters, and so is the wood. And now red really does need to be, while continuing to do damage. Like, hitting this wood line, red probably doesn't know that this wood line exists. Let's take a look. No. No. But red did see this gold. And should deal with that. Let's take a look. The rams can work, especially when backed up with some army. Yeah, the rams will clear up the tower too easy. And red is producing nothing at all. And that's a problem. Because there is food to be theoretically producing villagers. There are a bunch of villagers here who could build more farms. But no, the tower rush has failed, and red decides to tap out. It didn't need to be over there, at least not until there's a counterattack, but this did fail. Fair. Fair enough. And the next rounds will be tricky for you and for many players, because that's where all the pros are seated in. So that's why I actually wanted to cast some of these very early round of 128 games, because those are evenly matched, more or less, in terms of skill level. Then the next round will have a lot of imbalanced ones, and then they'll be more balanced again. Yes. If you're that different in Elo, your best chance is to do something unconventional. Like, if the tower rush works, then you can beat someone you have a better chance of beating someone who's much more skilled than you, perhaps. But yeah, good job here. It was fun to watch all the games that we looked at today. And I think there are more games going on, but I think I'm going to call it for now. I think I'm going to call it for now. Yeah. Well, I could check actually what's being played. No, I think I'm going to call it, because they're going to be a bunch of, ACCM versus or whoever else is playing. I don't know if Jordan's playing today. They're a bunch of high-level players versus a bunch of players who are not as high-level. Actually, let's check. Let's check who else is playing today. We have... No, I don't know who those players are. Velas. I saw Velas playing before, yeah. Okay, we don't have that many other ones. Okay, this is like 1 in the morning for me. I'm not casting that one. I could check if Velas is still playing. Maybe I'll do that. Probably not. I don't think that would have taken so many games to win that set. but nah, nah. All right, that is everything. Enjoy the nice beach scene. I'm just gonna go destroy 10 houses, as sort of a goodbye thing. So the optimal way to do this, I'm gonna need more opponents for that. Give me Huns, perhaps. And I need my opponents to actually build 10 houses. So how about we do... how do I activate Empire Wars mode? There we go. Let's get myself a couple more enemies. Tiny, ultra high, all visible, Imperial Age. That should do it. 10 houses. We're just going to go Tarkins and raise 10 houses. Should be a walk in the park. I have so many resources. Get me... Or I can build at stables right now, right? Because I have the Castle Age text already researched. Go, build this shit. Get that, that. Oh, yes. Let's go. Yeah, well, who are we going to overrun first? Oh boy, they're already building castles. I need to get the houses. Alright, get me some castles too, just to... Alright. And I want bajillion Tarkins right here, please. Do I need any other relevant upgrades? Nah. Could build a couple more stables. There we go, this should be fast. I don't know who's still watching me do this. Whoever you are, enjoy. This is how you cheese the daily missions. This is actually one of the slightly slower ones because I have to rely on the AI to actually have 10 houses. Otherwise, I'd be even faster for most of the other ones. You know, build 20 Janissaries, post-dim start, get those Janissaries going. Or what was it? I think it was Janissaries, it was hand cannons. Good, got that one. Alright, let's, for the next set, let's get a bunch of them over here. Alright, I want all the Tarkins to burn down. That's a mill, isn't it? Alright, let's check Green's houses. Green has a couple houses here. I should upgrade to Elite Tarkin. And I should get this. Alright, get the houses. There we go. I think if I destroy the houses of the 3 enemy players, that'll be enough, right? Should be enough. Where... Houses, where are you? Where are you? Wait, no running after units. No running after units, I said. I said destroy the houses. That's a house. This is a house. Destroy the house. Alright, good. There should be a couple more houses over here. There we go. Send the Tarkin Horde for the houses. Okay. Part of this army can go here. These guys can run for that house. Send a couple to this house. Oi! Get back to destroying houses. Tarkins don't make any sounds. Alright, no attack sounds. Alright, I think that's good enough. There we go. Just that easy. And then in 12 hours, we can gather 6 berry bushes. Ah, yes. Alright, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed the stream. They have a burn sound, yeah, but it's so quiet. And I think the original game they made sort of like a. Not sure if I'm making that more of like a sound of something impacting, like a torch impacting. I don't know. Anyway, everyone enjoy your evenings, and I'm gonna sign off.